Hey, Thomas the Injury Fixer here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use your abs and your glutes to create more stability, which will lead to more mobility as well. Because if you're feeling stiff and tight, maybe in your hamstrings, your lower back, your hips, your groin, those muscles, they don't get tight for fun, but they get tight out of protection. Because the worst thing that can happen to your body is that your spine goes out of whack like this, because then it will push against your spinal cord, you wouldn't be able to use your legs anymore, and obviously your body doesn't want that, right? So whenever your nervous system senses that there's a little bit of instability there, it will do whatever it can to prevent that from happening. So it's just going to tighten up your lower back, your hamstrings, your groin, your hip flexors, and all those muscles, and that's then what causes you to feel stiff and maybe give you some pain as well. So what we need to do is not just stretch those muscles out, because you can stretch your hamstrings all day long, but if you don't take away the reason why they got tight in the first place, they're just going to stay tight and they're going to tighten back up. So what we're going to do is create some stability around your spine, and by that you will be able to have more mobility as well. And before we start, I want you to do a little test. So with your legs straight, touch your toes, see how that feels, see how far you can get, and then I also want you to do a deep squat, and again just pay attention to how far you can get and if you feel any tightness or restriction. Then next what we're going to do, I'm going to teach you how to use your abs to stabilize your spine. So what I want you to do is put your hands on your lower back muscles, not on the bones here, but on the muscles right on the side of the spine, and then you lean forward a little bit and you should feel those muscles contract. Then I want you to come back up again just to the point where you feel them relax again. And then I want you to make your abs hard, like somebody was about to punch you in the stomach. Now I don't want you to suck your abs in, don't push them out, but brace them like you were about to be punched. If you do it right, you should feel the muscles in the back contract again as well. And when that happens, there's connective tissue between the muscles in the front, on the side, and on the back, as well as all the deeper abdominal muscles. And if you brace your abs like somebody was about to punch you, then they'll all automatically contract, and it's like creating a weightlifting belt or a corset of muscle around your spine, and that creates a lot of stability. And yeah, that's what should happen every time you pick up something heavy or throw a ball or anything. However, from sitting by the computer all day, it's very likely that your body's kind of forgotten how to do this. So in this video, we're going to work on reminding your body how to do it properly. So step one, make your abs hard like somebody was about to punch you in the stomach. And again, check if you're doing it right by seeing if you feel those lower back muscles contract again as well. Once you got that, then you also want to squeeze your glutes together like you had to crack a walnut in between your butt cheeks for some reason. So make the abs hard and then squeeze your butt muscles together. It can help if you try to kind of screw your feet into the floor, that way you get an even harder contraction. So squeeze here, and squeeze that as hard as you can for about 10 seconds. If you got that right, then next we're going to do a plank, again only for 10 seconds. But in those 10 seconds, again I want you to squeeze your abs and your glutes as hard as you can. So get in a plank position, on your elbows and on your feet like this, and then you squeeze your abs and your glutes as hard as you can. I don't care how strong you are, normally you might be able to hold the plank for 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Here, just 10 seconds, but I want you to squeeze really as hard as you can. To get some extra tension, you can even pull, or try to pull the floor back with your elbows, and with your toes you try to pull the floor forward. So when you're doing that, you're kind of squeezing the floor in, and again squeeze your butt, squeeze your abs. That way you create even more tension, and you kind of remind your brain to fire up all those muscles. Then next, we're going to do a side plank, where again you're on your elbow, feet on top of each other, legs straight, and then you get up. You want to have a straight line from your feet through your knees, through your hips, into your shoulders. And again, squeeze your butt and squeeze your abs as hard as you can. I want you to be shaking from the tension a little bit. Hold it for 10 seconds. And of course you do that on both sides. If that's too hard, if you can't do it properly, then you can scale back a little bit, go from the knees instead, and then do it this way. And again, just squeeze your butt and squeeze your abs as hard as you can. Do it on both sides. Then you lie down on your back, get your feet a little bit far away from you, so your knees should be at about a 90-degree angle. and your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Lie on your back, again, squeeze your abs and squeeze your glutes. Squeeze them together as hard as you can, again for about 10 seconds, and again you should be shaking from the tension a little bit from squeezing them hard. And that's it. So now I want you to get back up again, and then again test your hamstring flexibility and test your squat, and you might find that without doing any stretching at all, you got more flexible. And again, we didn't stretch, all we did was create some stability in the right places, so then it becomes safe for your nervous system to let go of the tension in your hamstrings, in your hip flexors, in your groin. So if you haven't done it yet, go try it out and let me know how it goes.